Ahab, son of Omri, did more evil in the eyes of the Lord than any of those before him. He not only considered it trivial to commit the sins of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, but he also married Jezebel, daughter of Ethbaal, king of the Sidonians, and began to serve Baal and worship him. He set up an altar for Baal in the temple of Baal that he built in Samaria. Ahab also made an Asherah pole and did more to provoke the Lord, the God of Israel, to anger than did all the kings of Israel before him. If we were to categorize the kings of Israel and label them according to the nature of their reign, we would use a scale from mostly bad to extra bad. Well, on that scale, Ahab would be labeled off the charts as the one who was the worst king of Israel. We'll find out more about Ahab in the next chapter of the story. Things were a little better in Judah, where David's family reigned for all but 5 of the 350 years that led up to the captivity. However, of the 20 kings that led, only 7 of them were good. David was a man after God's own heart. Solomon, his son, though he had everything, allowed his heart to be turned away from God. Solomon's son was Rehoboam, and he was the first king of the divided kingdom. His son, Abijah, we read that his heart was not fully devoted to the Lord. But finally, there's some good news. Asa, David's great-great-grandson, is next on the throne. Asa did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, as his father David had done. He expelled the male shrine prostitutes from the land and got rid of all the idols his fathers had made. He even deposed his grandmother Maacah from her position as queen mother because she had made a repulsive Asherah pole. Asa cut down the pole and burned it in the Kidron Valley. Although he did not remove the high places, Asa's heart was fully committed to the Lord all his life. What kind of leaders are you following? Who are you allowing to speak into your life? There are many influences around us that are not good. There are values in our culture that will keep you from living a fully devoted life toward God. Are you aware of the struggle? It's real, and you need to defend against it. How are you leading those that are under your care? The way we lead makes a difference in people's lives. Sometimes we see that impact, but many times we don't. I recently received an email from a former student of mine. He was in the music program that I led during his first and second year of high school. After that, I left that school and went to a new job. His daughter had recently asked him who the most influential teachers were in his life, and he wrote me that Mr. L, which is how I was known in school, was the one that had influenced him the most. He realized that we often don't understand what kind of impact we had, and he was writing just to say thank you. This is a young man that I didn't know for very long, and I certainly didn't know very well. But a positive difference was made, and this can be true in the relationships you have. You are having an influence on those around you. Make sure your influence is for good. What's the trajectory of your life? What kind of course are you on? Over the next several chapters of the story, we will watch God's people continue to fall away from Him. The northern tribes of Israel will be on a steady decline until they fall at the hands of a foreign army. In the south, in Judah, there will be a couple bright moments, but the end will come as they fall away completely as well. Why do we resist God's love? Why does it seem that we move in the completely opposite direction of God's desire for us? For Israel and Judah, a divided kingdom reflected a divided heart. And it's a divided heart that impacts us today. We want it all. We want to pursue the things of the world while pursuing the things of God. But it doesn't work that way. That was never the plan. God desires an intimate, personal, exclusive relationship with you. And in return, He promises you a full, meaningful, and abundant life. That's what the story is all about.